Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja freaking Turtles, because I love them, I'm obsessed with them, part of my name, it's important to them, so let's get this rolling, shall we? So, I've seen on Movie Rep, they have ranked all 5 shows, from worst to best, right? And here's my ranking system, from worst to best out of the 5 shows. Next Mutation, because it's trash. Then comes the Rise Turtles. They were better than the Next Mutation Turtles, but I don't think the Next Mutation the Rise Turtles are exactly amongst the best, despite I enjoyed the movie. Then comes the old 3 Turtles for me. Even though I grew up on all 3 Turtles, so I have a soft spot for them. Then the 87 Turtles. Then the 2012 Turtles. And the reason why I have 2012 as number 1 is because they took what was the best for of the 87 and the old 3 Turtles, and they combined that, and then they practically built on top of that too. It was great. If you guys are like huge Ninja Turtle fans, watch the 2012 series. Whether you guys enjoy the 87 cartoon or the 03 cartoon or both, watch the 2012 series. You guys will like it. I promise you guys. Anyways, let's get into this. The Ninja Turtles took the world by storm in the 80s and 90s. The Ninja Turtles franchise, starring the 4 green mutated anthropomorphic sewer turtles turned pizza-loving ninjas, started off as a show, not a show, but of a comic book created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. I met Kevin Eastman at C2E2 in March, and it was an honor meeting him. It's literally been on my bucket list to meet both creators of the Ninja Turtles, and so I'm literally halfway there. Now I would love for Peter Laird to go to a Comic-Con, preferably C2E2, because that's close to me, so I can meet him. And I would. And, like I said, it's just meeting Kevin Eastman was a huge honor for me. And I also linked the video where I talked about, me meeting him, Kevin Eastman, in the description below, as well as the article I'm reading off of. So if you guys want to hear that story, you guys can, in more depth. Anyways, the 4 Turtle brothers, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo, and the Rat Sensei Splinter, are the main characters, and they spend their time fighting crime and evildoers in New York City. The comic's first issue was published in 1984 and was a huge hit. Some action figures of the comic book characters were massively famous, leading the Ninja Turtles action figures to be the 3rd highest grossing toy figure ever during that time. However, the pop culture phenomenon was not the intent of the creators. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was originally meant as a spoof of other popular comics at that time, specifically X-Men and the New Mutants, because it had Teenage Mutants in it. Daredevil had Ninja fighting over New York's, and Shebris, the Aardvark, had anthropomorphic animals. The main antagonist in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is Shredder, who is the leader of the Foot Clan, an evil ninja group was a direct parody of the Hand in the Daredevil comics. Things escalated. Awesome place on. I was talking and I realized I unintentionally muted myself, sorry. Pause the video, sorry. I'm a boomer. Anyways, things escalated and Turnip Mania ensued with the release of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV series in 1987. The ever-escalating popularity of the TMNT lead to 3 live-action films and a handful of video games. Most like the comic book characters from Marvel to DC, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been giving lots of makeovers in animation and live action, each rendition targeted at the generation at the time. Some of the characters' depictions look serious and brooding, some more lighthearted and fun, and some downright creepy. Which, with such a fast fan base established, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are still prominent today. The latest installment was the 2022 Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. Now, like I said, I wasn't exactly a huge fan of the TV show, which is why it's ranked number 4 for me on my list. But the movie was good. It blew my socks off. Like, I had low expectations for the movie. I watched both seasons of the Rise show, and it blew my socks off. I know the Rise Turtles was supposed to have 3 seasons. Hypothetically, if they were going to get a third season, if they were going to get like the Clone Wars treatment, where like the Clone Wars was canceled, Star Wars the Clone Wars was canceled due to the whole Disney merger, but then Disney said, "Hey, you guys like the Clone Wars so much, we'll do season 7. Hopefully, we'll get that." And if we do that, I'm saying hopefully, loosely, but like I say hopefully as well, because like, if we get a third season, I hope that it'll be in the same tone as the movie. Because the movie was awesome freaking tackler, man. Anyways. Well, at least I think. I like the tone. It was great. Scheduled to release this year is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. It will be an animated installment in the franchise that looks to give a pop culture infused modern take with a unique animation style. It has a star-studded cast with Jackie Chan as Mr. Splinter, Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, John Cena, and Post Malone, to name a few. If this movie hits the mark, there could be a new TV series in the not-so-distant future. Now, I'm not too excited about Mutant Mayhem. I'm not a huge fan of Seth Rogen as a producer or a director. I do like him as an actor. My favorite, or more so, I have to say, and my favorite role for Seth Rogen actually has to be Donkey Kong in the Super Mario movie. Outside of that, I'm not a huge fan of Seth Rogen's art, per se, if that makes sense. So, since there's the 5 series, let's start at number 5, being the Next Mutation. So we are agreeing with what it should be in the number 5 spot. Let's see why. The Next Mutation was the only live-action TV series, and as opposed to the live-action Ninja Turtle movies that inspired an entire generation, the Next Mutation was not so inspiring. The show strayed away from what fans loved so much about the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series, which did not bode well. They attempted to add a female turtle, Venus de Milo, who was a mystic arts shinobi. And while this addition of a female character was a step in the right direction and to freshen things up, unfortunately, the show was so cheap-looking, poorly written, directed, and acted that no good idea was presented well enough to redeem the show's flaws. Now, I have to say, I do dig the whole fifth turtle idea. I don't even care that it was it's a female turtle, and I don't even care that the female turtle has, or the fifth turtle has magical powers. I mean, you can say in some cases, like, Venus is the fifth turtle. In other cases, Janica, being like this female Ninja Turtle version of Wolverine, was the fifth turtle. Some can say Slash was the fifth turtle. I am open to having a fifth turtle. I'm open for that. But, and I'm even open for Venus to being a legit fifth turtle. But they didn't really present her character well in that show. My issue with her character in the show was they called her Shinobi. Shinobi is supposed to represent male ninja. She was a male. Raph, Leo, Donnie, Mikey were male ninjas. Splinter's a male ninja. Shredder's a male ninja. in the 2012 series, Splinter calls April Akino Each, which translates to female ninja. April O'Neil in the 2012 show, it's a female ninja. Karai, it's Akino Each. Venus is Akino Each. Jenica is Akino Each, right? So that was one issue. My other issue is what this perfectly worded in summarized form. Cheap looking, poorly written, directed, and acted. So that... I'm so happy it only lasted one season. So it was the shortest lived of the Ninja TV series at only one season. And seeing as the depictions of the Ninjas with their new awkward look and overly muscled body, the next mutation by far the creepiest looking of all the shows. It's easy to see why. Many would agree that Next Mutation was a sad and uncaring attempt of the TV series. I would say like this. The Next Mutation say, oh, the Ninja Turtles, let's take a big, massive dump on it. The Next Mutation for Ninja Turtles is like Rings of Power for Lord of the Rings. It's like what the sequel trilogy for Star Wars for many fans is to Star Wars. What the Star Wars Resistance show is to Star Wars. Like how the Willow show is to the Willow movie. Takes a big pile of stinky shit on the Ninja Turtle series. So yeah. Coming number 4, which we both agree on, the number 4 spot is the Rise Turtles. With a drastically new design, tone, and mood, the 2018 franchise installment Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles took a risk. There were polarizing views on the show as its audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a comfortable 77%, but IMDb with a poignant 5.6 out of 10. The show was primarily met with fan frustrations across the web, particularly for long-time TMNT fans. The show's clunky character design and almost parody storytelling style didn't click, whereas many new fans have a fondness of the rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This series being the furthest removed from any other franchise installments heard it. It was criticized for being more flashy and dumbed down for a younger audience, and it does have its moments and it's fun, but this was not appealing to fans coming off of the 2303 series, which was very dark, and the 2012 series was arguably the best of the lot. And I want to say, before I continue, if you guys enjoyed the Next Mutation, no shade towards you. Like what you guys like. If you guys like the Rise Turtles, no shade towards you. Like what you like. More power to you. Next Mutation, I dislike. Rise of the Ninja Turtles, best arc episodes for me were the Shredder episodes. Outside of those and the movie, I'm not a huge fan of this version of the Ninja Turtles. That's just me. But like I said, if you guys like the Rise Turtles or the Next Mutation Turtles, more power to you. So happy for you guys. Nothing against you guys. I just dislike those incarnations of the Turtles. Anyways, let's get into the further into this. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was intended for 3 seasons, but only lasted 1.5. There was a movie in 2022. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, was received slightly better reviews than the show. While the show's online score may not truly reflect its quality, those giving the reviews are prominently diehard Ninja Turtle fans, so it's a fair estimate of what the fan base thinks of the franchise direction. If one goes into the show with a first or even a newborn perspective of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there is some fun to be had. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is worth giving it a shot and deciding for oneself. And that's what I definitely encourage you guys to do. If you guys haven't watched Rise of the Turtles or the Rise of the Ninja Turtles, watch it for yourselves. Guys, I know like it's definitely a huge hit or miss. Is I believe the old Turtle Dan, and he can correct me if I'm wrong if he ever sees this video. I do believe he enjoyed this. The show. I didn't. No hate towards him. I respect that guy a lot, but I acknowledge that he likes the rice turtles. I respect that. I just don't like it. So, like I said, the Rise of the Ninja Turtles is a hit or miss for Turtles fan. Pre-16 Turtles fans. So keep that with a grain of thought. Now, surprisingly, the 87 Turtles are in the number 3 spot. Some may be irked not to find this at the top of our list, but it's for a good reason. Despite all of it did to propel the franchise, despite it being an exceptionally unique and well-done show, the original 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a product of its time. It was very much a stereotypical goofy kids cartoon that was a bit shallow at times. With that said, it does outshine the previously mentioned series a lot. This series single-handedly propelled this franchise into motion, creating lifelong fans. Children of the late 80s to early 90s flocked to watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and all the lunchboxes and action figures sold along with massive viewership. Jolted a franchise into existence and launched a pop culture phenomenon, Turtlemania. One couldn't go anywhere without the memorabilia, posters, toys, and fast food bags, cereal boxes, you name it, it was out there. The original series didn't get to the top spot, but it launched the franchise, and it was a great show. I am personally watching this entire series as a whole for the first time, and oh my lord, I'm so loving it. It can be cheesy at times, but that's part of the 87 Turtles charm. They're cheesy, they know it, they lean into it, and I love it. And I think if you guys enjoy the 03 Turtles and the 2012 Turtles, it might feel a little bit different. It's a bit lighter, but I think it's worth a watch for sure. Especially if you guys are a fan of the 03 Turtles and or of the 2012 Turtles. And number 2, the 03 Turtles was the Turtles I grew up with. The 03 reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a step in the right direction for the franchise. The characters' designs are sleek and not too out there, and this more modernized version of the mid-2000s adds a bit more of an adult tone along with more mature character designs. It is closely tied to the original, but some differing storylines added a hint of originality to the narrative. I gave a first new take. The most significant difference was the attention to narrative and character. Each Ninja Turtle had more individualized personality. The story was more intricate, and the series had a darker tone and mood. Many would argue that it is the best of the lot, but things start to become subjective when you get to the top of any list. The series lasted 7 seasons, received virtually unanimous acclaims from fans, and inspired a new generation of Ninja Turtle fanatics, Parsons Party included. Now, I would have to say, though, the Fast Forward season is my least favorite season, but it's still watchable. I think the, potentially, if I had to criticize, give one criticism towards that show, it would be they killed the Shredder off. Fine. But besides, having someone take on the mantle of Shredder after Oroku Saki died, they kept bringing Oroku Saki back in some way. Sure, they, had Karai as the Shredder for a time, sure. But they had, Shredder, Ultron Shredder, Cyborg Shredder, Agent Shredder, Demon Shredder, I forget. And they kept on bringing him back. And, sure, the Shredder was a badass, sure, but, after, so many times, after, 2 or 3 times of bringing this character back, it can become reductive and boring and lazy. You know? And so that has to be if I had to criticize the show, the O3 show, that would be my criticism. So they kept on bringing the Shredder back constantly, practically. They did make room for the older villains, but I felt like they should have kept the Shredder dead or gone. If that makes sense. At least until the Turtles Forever movie. The Turtles Forever movie, I was more open to it because that was a series finale. Fine, have the Shredder come back for that. But outside of that, the amount of times the Shredder got resurrected was too much. But at the same time, I did grow up on it. I love it. It has a sentimental place in my heart because it got me because I watched the 90s movies and I watched those because my sister wanted loved those and wanted me to watch them, and I loved it. But the O3 Turtles really cemented me as an official Turtles fan that I got into the show. My sister didn't get me into the show. I got into the show. I woke up practically every Saturday morning just to watch new episodes of the O3 Turtles, and I loved it. I loved it. Back then, it was extremely fun being a kid. You had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Chaotic, Pokemon, Digimon, Code Loco, Kids Next Door, Ben 10, SpongeBob, the original SpongeBob, Fairy Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. Man, it was Zoe 101, The Powerpuff Girls, iCarly. That came later in my childhood. Drake and Josh, Kenan and Kel, The Amanda Show. Man, it was great being a kid back in the day. Anyways, 2012 version's number 1. It would be a lie to say this top spot is not debatable, but our top choice for all of the Ninja Turtles shows is the CG animated revamp of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 2012. Hell yeah. It was a huge hit and a shocker at that. Given the new animation, there was speculation. The CG animation is a bit strange and hard to adjust to with a blocky looking character design. Still, it much less noticeable in time in the series, so entertaining that one will adapt quickly. And I was kind of hesitant at first, now they're going to the CGI route, and I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah, they're right. As soon as you get into it, you'll get invested, especially when the 80s Turtles comes into play. Because the 80s Turtles do cross over with these, and it's great. And Rob Paulsen, who played Raphael in the 80s cartoon, does Donatello's voice. The girl who plays Kotaro in After the Last Airbender, and Yuffie in the Kingdom Hearts series, because same person, also did April O'Neil in this version. Josh Peck, who did Josh from Drake and Josh, was Casey Jones. It was great. And I also was hesitant about giving this a chance because it was April O'Neil as a teenager, and then she has mystical powers at that. I was hesitant about that, but I'm really glad I gave them that chance because, oh my lord, I love this show. Anyways, the humor in the series is excellent and it takes on some of the best original storylines and hosts of characters that give a very fresh take on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, all while maintaining enough sense of nostalgia that fans of the original are not lost. The series also has a rich ongoing story. In contrast, the original was a line of standard episodic TV series, where each episode is new, and the narrative didn't overlap between episodes too often. While the series is a bit more lighthearted than the old 3 iterations, it combines the best from both the original and the old 3 series, making it binge-worthy to show. Make a binge-worthy show. Let me repeat that. It combines the best from both the original and 2000. Sorry, combines the best of both original and '03 series, making it binge worthy show. And I concur. I concur with something I kind of alluded to early in this video. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles received fantastic reviews across multiple websites and lasted 5 seasons. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys are a fan of either the '03 Turtles, 1987 Turtles, or both, watch the 2012 Turtles. You guys will fall in love with it. You guys will see why I also, as well on my list, had the 2012 Turtles as number 1 on my list. They are worth the watch and the time, and you guys will enjoy it. So there's their ranking. What is your guys' ranking of the Turtles, and how do you guys feel about this ranking? Do you guys like? Is your ranking the same as this, or mine, or is it different? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Sorry. Bye. Bye. Later, cheers.